Hi, my name is K.Thomas, W1DED. Today I have some late-breaking news from Parks on the Air that I'm very excited to share. For weeks now, there's been some rumors circulating from within Parks on the Air and their overall community that some big announcement, some big event was about to be announced. Well, this morning at 9 o'clock, there was a press release from Matt here and Jason Johnston at Parks on the Air announcing a big new event for 2023, and I'm really excited to talk about it today. First of all, let me take you back to 4 months ago when I first talked to Jason Johnston, W3AAX, the founder of Parks on the Air. In that conversation, I asked him about Support Your Parks Weekend. My question was, Jason, is this a contest or not? Because it sure feels like a contest. His answer back to me was, Kevin, it's the right question for the right time, and there's a group of volunteers at Parks on the Air that are grappling with this question as we speak. And they're trying to figure out a way to be responsive to the group of hams that enjoy the casual nature of Support Your Parks Weekend and those ham radio operators, like myself, that enjoy competition, that enjoy having categories and a point structure and being able to work toward an award or a plaque or recognition in certain categories. Well, now we have an answer. First of all, for those of you that enjoy the Support Your Parks Weekend and the casual nature of that event, it's going to stay the same. There will still be 4 Support Your Parks Weekend throughout the year, spring, summer, fall, winter, and you'll be able to get together with family and friends and make contacts around the world in a more casual setting. And now for today's announcement. Jason Johnston, W3AAX, founder of Parks on the Air, tells us that there will be a new event that will be held in June of this year and every June thereafter, called the Parks on the Air Plaque Event. This event is specifically designed for operators who enjoy competition and recognition in a variety of categories. I, for one, am very thankful for this and thankful for the volunteers that have worked diligently behind the scenes to make it happen. I also suspect this will be one of the biggest Parks on the Air events for the year, with thousands of ham radio operators around the world, both activating parks as well as hunting those parks. I think it's going to be great for ham radio in general, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for people within the Parks on the Air program. Let's get into the details. The 2023 Parks on the Air Plaque Event will begin at 00 UTC on June 3rd and will end at 23:59 UTC on June 4th. So, 48 hours with no limitations on time. You can make contacts around the clock if the bands are active and if you can stay awake. The only condition of entry is that you are a licensed amateur radio operator and have registered your call sign at parksontheair.com. All amateur radio bands are eligible for use except the work bands of 60 meters, 30 meters, 17 meters, and 12 meters. Parks on the Air volunteers have given us a number of different categories where we can compete and earn recognition. Those categories are broken down into 2 groups, activators and hunters. For those unfamiliar with POTA, activators are ham radio operators who go to a POTA-eligible park and operate portably. Hunters are any ham radio operator who make contact with an activator operating from an eligible POTA park. So, for activators, you can compete in the following categories. Most contacts, all modes. Most voice contacts. Most CW contacts. Most digital contacts. Most rookie contacts. Rover most unique parks. DX Region 1, DX Region 2, and DX Region 3. Now, this rookie designation is new to POTA. They are defining a rookie as an operator who made their first POTA contact within 1 year prior to the event. So, if you made your very first POTA contact on or after June 3rd, 2022, they're talking about you. You are a POTA rookie. Hunters. Similar categories. Most contacts, all modes. Most voice contacts. Most CW contacts. Most digital contacts. Most rookie contacts. Hunter, most unique parks. DX Region 1. DX Region 2. And DX Region 3. So you might be asking, where do I submit my logs for the Parks on the Air Plaque Event? Well, if you're an activator, you'll upload your logs just as you always do at POTA.app. Months ago, Parks on the Air automated this upload process and present activators are very familiar with the ADIF format and upload steps. If you're new to POTA, trust me, the process is straightforward and very simple. If you're a hunter that is competing in the Parks on the Air Plaque event, you will not upload your logs. Hunters never do in the present-day POTA system. Hunters get credit from the activator logs, and in the Plaque event, your scores will be determined in the same manner. Which brings us to scoring. Every contact is worth 1 point, regardless of mode or your status as a hunter or activator. Pretty simple. But worth noting, if an activator is operating from 2 or 3 parks at the same time, something known as a twofer or a threefer in POTA parlance, both the activator and hunter will get credit for only 1 point. So, bottom line, no NFers. And now I'd like to introduce the man behind Parks on the Air, the founder, Jason Johnston, W3 Alpha Alpha X-Ray.
Thanks a lot, Kevin, for having me on. I really appreciate your time.
Well, I appreciate you joining me, and this is really exciting news. I know you've been working on this for a long time. Back when we talked 4 months ago, you were already, I think, well within the contemplation, the collection of facts, trying to figure out where to go with it. So tell me a little bit about that process, because I know it's been a difficult decision to make, and I think you've arrived at the right one. So thank you for that. But tell me all the information that went into this decision.
Well, as you know, Kevin, because you do a lot of volunteer work on the side with this, it's not just me. It's definitely a huge team effort with this. And I really appreciate Vance Martin, N3VEM. He used to do the plaque events for us pretty much solely. I'm not sure how he got all the time to do it, but it was a lot of work. And when he has a growing family and had to step away from being able to volunteer with us, a guy named Dave W9I9Q, I'm sorry, Whiskey India 9 Quebec. He stepped in to organize the plaque event this year, and we decided to make a couple of changes because, on one hand, we want to keep our support your parks events that we have every quarter on a casual level where you can get out. It's not any pressure. You make a contact as a hunter, or you activate a park. You get your award. But we also wanted to have a way where we didn't want to have a full-fledged contest per se, because POTA is not really about contesting, but we did want to have an event where it did focus on the abilities of people to get out and not depend on things like 2-fers, 3-fers, 4-fers, like multipliers, for example, in that regard, because geographically, sometimes you have a huge edge when it comes to ability to get to a fifer, for example, versus someone that's in the West that it might take them a while to get to a few parks. So we made some changes this year. Matt N3 in November Whiskey Victor, Larry KX4 XW, and Ryu I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Alpha Baker 1 Whiskey X-Ray. That's Alpha Bravo 1 Whiskey X-Ray. He was also a documentation specialist to help behind the scenes. Larry was with the press release, and Matt's been trying to help me because Vance did a lot of this himself, organized a lot of this behind the scenes. And of course, we got W8TAM. Tom helps with the development behind the scenes. Can't do that without that. Papa Alpha Zero Kilo Golf Bravo. Martin helps with all the country admins, and can't do all this with all the parks not being available. And of course, support the help desk. We've got Whiskey 7 Romeo Tango Alpha Charlie. We can't do this without all the support, and he's really quick about it and very efficient. So I appreciate all these guys.
Jason, tell me a little bit more about the conversations that you and your team of volunteers have had with people. What was the feedback that you were getting from people that led you to developing an event that was more competitive with recognition?
It's a tough tightrope walk when you deal with a lot of people that do want to keep it casual, and I was wanting to have that environment for people that are new to the hobby, or they might be a spouse or an Elmer or a friend that just wants to get their feet wet. I wanted to keep it at that level where you could get your first taste of a contest like event. And then with the so I got it half and half. Half the people seemed like they wanted to keep it casual, do not mention the word contesting in any fashion, and they were a lot of fear involved with maybe us looking negatively if we're, on work bans and things like that. And I can understand, but I did want to have it for people, I mean, even like yourself. I know you're really into contesting to a degree, and a lot of my other friends are too. And I even like to dabble in contesting for at times. I didn't want to get POTA too much into the weeds of contesting because our the availability of using work bands is a great thing to me. I like the activity that we bring to 60 meters and to modes that you normally wouldn't hear, like Feldhell and Olivia. That I don't want these things to die, so it's to me important to keep that alive. And but with these changes that you're about to announce, I'm hoping that it'll keep it engaging and almost to the degree of a contest where you feel like you're more into the moment, but not to the point where it's all about just numbers solely. That's all.
So that explains why the work bands are excluded from the plaque event.
Correct. I I was hesitant about making that change because I did like the fact that the plaque event had the options, but when you are gearing the event towards more of that, I thought, well, let's try to be accommodating to everybody as much as we can and stay off the work bands, but still be engaged. And this way, we still have our support your park events every quarter, and you can still use your work bands then, and that's spring, summer, fall, winter. So that's an option too.
One of the things that I was really interested in, Jason, was the introduction of a rookie category. Tell me about that.
That was one of the tougher ones logistically to do because I was concerned. See, at Parks and the Air, we don't keep any PII data. We try to not have people's ages and special private information. It's just easier on an administration level if you don't have that. So I was kind of scared that we weren't going to be able to support a rookie type of event. But based off of the getting with our developers, with Tom, and getting with support and getting with everybody, I made sure that we could support this where we can use certain data on awards that have been, earned or starting dates of when they created their accounts, things like that, where we can offer this rookie type of award. And it's really exciting because we never really had something like this before. It's the first time for Parks on the Air.
So I've got to ask the question: will you be participating in the Parks on the Air plaque event?
I usually do not, only because of time. It's not because of want. I've always want to do everything POTA. I mean, any award we've ever presented or offer, I myself have tried to actually earn. I'm still working on my Workdoll, Maryland, for example. I don't have a boat, so I have to depend on boat access to about 18 more, believe it or not, parks that are boat only. So, but with that, with the plaque event, I might dabble. I might not. I'm not going to be able to probably partake on a serious level like some of you guys do, but I might dabble a little bit.
Well, I'll be looking for your call sign. That'd be a nice bonus to get that in the log for sure. And I have noticed that you've been in the parks a little bit more frequently lately.
I try. I'm off every Friday. Blessed to be off every Friday, so that's my day usually where I take. And if there's not really major things going on in POTA itself, then I'll go run off to a twofer. And I've been working on a kilo for those two. I only have 2 kilos so far. One at my I call it my home park down the street, about 7 or 8 miles, and then I've got another one that's the Patuxent Research Refuge next to Fort Meade that I like to do because it's a kind of a strange park. You have to go in and visit this visitor center to sign in before you can actually do anything. So it's the only park that's like that. It's a special natural wildlife refuge that is a research refuge that FDR stood up a long time ago. It's just a special park. And so for my third and fourth kilos, I'm trying to do the Star Spangled Banner National Historic Trail as well as the Captain John Smith National Historic Trail right on the Chesapeake Bay where I am. Great brackish water, great for DX, and it seems like I always am able to get France. And my buddy F4ILH is always contacting me everywhere I go, so it's hard to say no.
It's really nice to see you out there and see you on the spotting page. You do so much for all of us that enjoy Parks on the Air. It's really a good feeling to know that you get to enjoy it once in a while. So I hope you continue that. Jason, thank you for all the work that you and the volunteers have done toward Parks on the Air Plaque Event Weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be the most popular event that Parks on the Air does. by far. I just predict that there's going to be thousands of people participating over that weekend, and I just can't wait to have it happen. Thank you.
Oh no, thank you and everyone that volunteers for POTA. I mean, everyone. It's without all the pieces working a certain way, the puzzle falls apart. So I'm really appreciate you guys putting all the effort that you guys do, because none of us make a penny off this. It's just all for fun, and I'm just glad people are willing to put in all the work that we all do to make it keep it going. And I'm looking forward to seeing the numbers after this event. I noticed last summer it was a pretty good spike that I see in the quick site data that we have available, and I think it was around I want to say 20 to 70,000. I have to take another look at the amount of QSOs that were back then, but it would be nice to see it maybe even double if we can do that. I don't know, but I'm always positive and look on the higher side of numbers. That's my goal usually.
Well, thank you, Jason. I've been talking to Jason Johnston, W3AAX. He needs a boat so he can get his Maryland worked all state. So if you have one, you can help him out. Please give him a call. Looking forward to seeing him on the spotting page during the Parks on the Air Plaque Event weekend, and looking forward to seeing all of you. Thank you.
You too, Kevin. I hope to see you on the spotter.